Hola. Hey Bob, do you know what the hell I don't have a job? Man, I don't know. As to the other man in the other side of the other world. What the? Ah! Hello everyone. My name is Hector Raúl de Signore, and I'm going to explain to you what is the unemployment and how to destroy it. You reach 18 years old and you just can't find a place to work. Congratulations, you're unemployed. We all know that unemployment is a serious topic to talk about, but when is unemployment born? Where? In the first place, it is important to clarify that we are not going to talk about natural cases of unemployment. We are going to talk about own cases merely due to economic management.
Unemployment is naturally caused by inefficient policies or uncontrollable market situations. One of the recognized causes is the minimum wage. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, the minimum wage forces the employer to hire at a minimum price. However, if the country's situation does not accompany it, it will not be easy to comply with the minimum wage to be paid. So the employer will not going to hire, or going to do it in black. Most of the time the reason why you cannot pay the minimum wage is due to the tax burden of the country in question. In Argentina, with the government's proposals, the employer has to pay almost two salaries because of the taxes that sink the job offer. This means that if taxes were not so high in relation to economic stability, the employer could hire two employees where he hires one. In second case, it is true that the technology is removing certain human jobs, but it is almost true that machines need to have someone to control them, which is another human job. Nor should technology ever be seen as something negative, because with that criterion we would have to work many people with buckets to carry out an excavation, since that would supposedly provide jobs. It is also true that there are cases where a sector does not have a labor force for the mere fact of not existing. There is no qualified population for that specific job. Finally, and where we aim, are the cases of financial crisis or low labor flexibility, where the state simply does not adapt to the economic situation and lets thousands of companies and employees die.
Although we are used to inflation, there are cases where unemployment generates the opposite effect: deflation. In the face of an economic crisis, a company will be forced to make an adjustment, either by reducing wages or the jobs given. If the labor supply decreases, and the demand remains the same, a market competition will be generated to see who is encouraged to give up more salary for a job, reducing global salaries. This will cause a decrease in consumption. Therefore, companies will sell less, and have to make adjustments, and thus a wheel known as a deflationary spiral that occurs when there is deflation.
However, this is not something that we see in Argentina. In our country, the consequences of unemployment come from the side of poverty, hunger, closed factories. How does a company survive that is forced to fire someone? With compensation laws. Unemployment in Argentina has played a leading role in recent years, having increasingly miserable salaries, because the less job supply there is, the greater the demand will be, and this will trigger a drop in the price of the low supply what was there. This is how we are left with the country that we have today, full of inflation, which, by the way, comes from printing bills that they print to pay for things that they cannot pay, bills that they print to give money to people, and that these do not worry so much about the lack of work. This is how Argentina works. To solve this, the state should apply labor flexibility measures, reduce the impunity of compensation, open the borders to welcome new investments, reduce taxes, stop punishing the employer, and start opening the doors to fairly employ. Thank you very much. Sorry Marines. We are very bad at pronouncing and we feel bad.